Okay, so before we get into anything today, I want you to picture something for me. Picture a child, maybe 15, maybe 16, early morning, sun is just coming out at that time. And this child is not doing what most young adults are doing at time. They're not sleeping in, they're not on their phone, they're not even getting ready for school yet. They are up, thinking, calculating, trying to figure out how is this family going to eat today? How are the younger ones going to manage? Whether there's something, anything they can do before they leave for school. Now, some of you just got uncomfortable because you know that child or you were that child. Welcome to Soft Story Room Podcast, the place where we have the honest conversations about family that nobody else wants to start. I am Rukayat, and think of me as that one friend who will say the thing everybody is thinking, but nobody is saying out loud. This episode is called Parentification, when the child becomes the parent. So what does it actually mean when a child is forced to take on responsibilities that should belong to the parent? Growing up, we just called it normal. We just called it that's how things are. Nobody sat down and said, hold on, this child is carrying something that doesn't belong to them. Like some of us knew our family's financial situation before we even knew what financial situation meant. You just knew. You knew rent was due. You knew school fees hadn't been paid. You knew mommy was hiding something from daddy. Nobody told you officially. You just absorbed it. You were living in it. And then there's the version where the child is literally sourcing money. 15, 16 years old. Not because they want to be entrepreneurial, because somebody has to. Younger ones need to eat. School fees won't pay themselves. And so somehow, that child decided they were the somebody. But here's the part that gets me. We didn't call it suffering. We called it maturity. We said, that child is so responsible, has sense beyond their age. And everybody clapped. But responsible from where? Mature from what experience exactly? Because children don't just wake up wise. Something happened. Something had to happen for them to carry that weight that young. So here's where it gets interesting. Because somebody's going to listen to everything I just said and go, but that's just how we do things in Nigeria. That's African culture. Children are supposed to help. Family supports family. And I hear you. I genuinely hear you. Because there is something beautiful about how we carry each other. That part is real. But I need us to draw a line today, because there is a difference between teaching a child responsibility and making a child responsible for the family. Those are not the same thing, and we have been confusing them for too long. Teaching responsibility looks like do your chores, respect your elders, help in the kitchen, learn how to manage money. That's parenting. That's normal. But when a child knows exactly how much debt is in the house, when they are the one calculating if there's enough for food this week, when they're in secondary school and they're the one sourcing their own school fees, that is not responsibility, that is survival. And no, we should not be calling it the same thing. And can we talk about the girl child for a second? Because she gets it the worst. The eldest daughter especially, she just automatically becomes the second mother. Nobody sat her down and had a conversation. Nobody asked her if she was okay with it. She just woke up one day and that was her life. Cooking, cleaning, raising siblings, managing the home. And her own childhood just quietly disappearing in the background while everybody else kept living. And here is the controversial part. I'm going to say it. Some parents, not all, but some, are using their children coping mechanism, emotionally, financially. Instead of dealing with the problem, the child becomes the solution. And we cover it with culture. We cover it with, that's just how things are. But if we are honest, we know there is a line. And that line has been crossed in a lot of homes. Because culture is beautiful, but culture cannot be an excuse to take a childhood from a child. So today we talked about something that has been happening in our homes for generations, parentification. When a child is handed responsibilities that were never theirs to carry. And we looked at how a child selling on the street at 15, the eldest daughter who became the second mother, how does this shape them? And we asked the hard question, is this culture or is this something else? Before episode 2, I just want you to sit with one question. Think about a child you know right now, maybe in your family, maybe in your street, and ask yourself honestly, are they carrying something that doesn't belong to them? Just notice it, just see it. Episode 2 is coming, and that is where it gets really deep. because we are going to talk about what happens to that child when they grow up, what it does to them in their relationships, their mental health, the ability to receive love. And trust me, that episode is going to hit different. Make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss it. Share this episode with somebody who needs to hear it today, and I will see you in part 2.